Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am the Rugby League blogger. If it's your first time watching me, welcome to the channel. I provide regular Rugby League content, and today we are going to be looking at the debate surrounding Golden Point. But before we do, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 50 subscribers, at which point I can start potentially doing some live streams for some games in the Super League, Championship, Challenge Cup, potentially even NRL. So please like and subscribe. Let's get me to 50 subscribers. Thank you. So firstly, Golden Point, what is it? After 80 minutes, if a team's a level, obviously teams will then go into Golden Point, where it's 10 minutes of a 10-minute shootout to get the winning point. 5 minutes of each half, and teams will most likely be going for drop goal attempts, but of course sometimes that is tries, and whoever gets the first point will win the game. There's been quite a bit of a debate surrounding Golden Point. Some people like it, some people don't. It was commented on my post yesterday after Salford versus Wakefield, a game that did go to Golden Point. I think it was by someone called Mark Dale, I think, maybe mistaken, but they said they didn't like it. And that is quite a big argument. I myself, I'm not too certain whether I do or I don't like it. There's a lot of advantages, a lot of disadvantages, but the RFL obviously are in favour of it, and you can see why. Firstly, more drama. There's always more drama. If you go into added time, there's an extra 10 minutes of play, more action, teams going out and out for the drop goal, and it's quite exciting most of the time. An emphasis on the most of the time, because you can look back to, I think it was March 2021, I want to say. But a few years ago, Hull FC versus Warrington, it finished 14-14 at extra time, and neither side could get a point in Golden Point, and the game finished as a draw, which is exactly the same result as what it would have been 10 minutes ago, which basically renders them 10 minutes pointless. And you can question the kicking of both sides, because obviously it wasn't at the best, but there was at least 5 opportunities in them 10 minutes of added time, and none of them were even close to actually being a drop goal. And after 80 minutes of a physical and intense game of rugby league, you can kind of see why that might be the case. But of course, Golden Point has provided us with lots of moments of entertainment, and is sort of based off the NRL model. Golden Point is very entertaining for them too. It's something that they've executed to perfection, and is a very good addition to the game. And for us, for the entertainment purposes, most of the time it is a very good addition to our game too. But you do look then at the whole idea of player welfare. The RFL are very big on it. They are very big on it. We've seen it last year, the harshening of the rules, red cards, yellow cards for more things a lot more frequently. And this year, yes, things are still potentially being punished more, less bans, more move to fines, but still more punishments for things that maybe a few years ago we would have seen go unnoticed or unpunished. And that is fair enough. There does need to be a higher focus now, more attention, probably is a correct way to look at it. More attention on player welfare, as our game is very physical, very tough, but has been proven to cause some brain injuries and things like that later down the line. But there is an argument that that's part of playing rugby league, and to a degree, yes, but more can be done to support players, and I think it's very good that the RFL are looking to improve that. But there is clearly a limit in the RFL's eyes, because they ask players to play 10 more minutes when they're drawing to secure a win. Now, that's contradictory, because 10 minutes after 80 minutes of rugby league increase the chance of injuries, and increase the chances of suspensions. There's a lot of damage that can be done in them 10 minutes, which probably outweigh the goods for some teams. And as a lot of teams may even just settle, maybe not settle for a point, because you're always going to be going to win the game. And if you sit back and let the other team attack in Golden Point, you are going to lose. But a lot of teams will most likely just be happy for 1 point, like it used to be when draws were still a thing. Although, of course, draws are still a thing now, as Hull Warrington proved a few years ago. It's just very hard to get to that. But yeah, player welfare kind of goes out the window in Golden Point. So the RFL are really, really pushing the mantra of player welfare, and that it needs to, that they are going to put more focus and attention on it, then surely Golden Point should be removed, because it's contradictory, and player welfare does indeed go out the window. More injuries, more suspensions. It's not really too fair on the players, I guess. And yeah, there can be some negatives that are dangerous and outweigh the positives. Then we look at, is it fair? Because a losing team will obviously feel hard done to, and you know what, the rules are the rules. If you don't win in Golden Point, then it's the way that sport is. It's heartbreak. But is it fair? Because you've played 80 minutes, hard for 80 minutes to get that point, to get to the point where you are level. Like Wakefield yesterday got to a point where it's 13-13 after 80 minutes against Salford. Wakefield yet to win a game this season. Salford coming off the back of a 60-14 win over Hull. So I think it would be fair to say they're sort of on form. Obviously it's been difficult at the start of the season to find form, but they have looked quite good. So it's a huge position for Wakefield to be in, and they definitely would have took the point, get themselves not off bottom place, sorry, because Casford won on Thursday night, but they would have been very happy with that, and they worked very hard to get into that position. And I said yesterday they should take a lot of they should look at the positives from that result, and not the negative that they didn't win the game. They take a lot of confidence from it, but ultimately they did lose the game because of Golden Point. If it wasn't for Golden Point, they get the draw, they get the 1 point, very very well earned, hard for 1 point that they did deserve. You could even say they deserved to win by the looks of some points of that game, but they didn't. So they will feel hard done to, and it's the same for a lot of teams that lose in Golden Point. The quality of kicking isn't the same for every team as well. So some teams gain advantage from that, which maybe is not the fairest and isn't an equal chance. But then again, teams can sign who they want, buy who they want, but financially, it's not always the case, and that does benefit some teams in Golden Point. If you have a better kickers, you're not guaranteed to win, but you're in a better position to win in Golden Point, which does not always provide the fairest of angles. So what do I think then? Perhaps it should. Yeah, some people will argue it should just always be a draw. Golden Point should be removed. A draw is how it should finish. And that argument's fair enough, but Golden Point does clearly have its positives. Entertainment, probably more money through the gates, more money on TV. If people see that a game is really close and really tight, they're gonna want to watch that game on TV. They will go and turn it on. More viewership, more money. So it does have its benefits for sure. So what would I suggest then? I would say normal Super League games, leave it as a draw. You know, there's no need to push the players for extra 10 minutes and cause quite a few negatives and potential injuries. Then we get to Challenge Cup games, knockout games. Then I think we should be looking at definitely putting Golden Point in. It's the business end of the season. Teams need to get it done. The games are likely to be closer as it's with teams that are up fighting in similar positions. Golden Point would be a really, really good addition in them stages, and I'm glad it's in now at them stages. You know, it adds that extra bit of jeopardy. Teams don't want to be there. It's very congested period. Well, the season's very congested, and the last thing they want is extra time, extra game time at that business end of a season when they need players to be fit and raring to go. So I think it's a very, very good addition to add in then. Adds that extra entertainment, adds that extra drama that everyone wants to see at the end. And can you imagine a grand final that goes to Golden Point? The drama in that would be brilliant. So yeah, that's what I'd say. Challenge Cup, knockouts, playoffs, all of that should have Golden Point, but not in normal regular league games. I don't think it's fair. Well, I guess it is fair, but I think the negatives do outweigh the positives of that. and teams that do lose do feel hard done to, and potentially it isn't fair. And obviously, as I said, Hull versus Warrington Bruges, that's not always increased entertainment, and sometimes quite dire to watch and not that entertaining. So yeah, they're my thoughts. Implement it just in the Challenge Cup and the Super League knockouts. The rest of the time, it shouldn't be implemented. Obviously, the NRL do have it implemented all the time, but it's fair to say their league's better than ours, and they can sustain it a bit better than ours, and their games are often more entertaining than ours, and at a much higher quality than Super League, which is not an injustice to any Super League team or player, but it's kind of just facts at this point. So, but our league is getting better. And closing the gap, but that is a story and a debate for another day. So yeah, finally my thoughts. Implement Golden Point in the Super League playoffs and the Challenge Cup, but that's where it should be left. It doesn't need to be implemented any further into the British game. So that's pretty much it then. Let me know your thoughts below in the comments or on my Twitter page where this video will be linked. I'll be back with another video soon. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye.